Hey, Walt here from StogieReview.com with another video review. You'll notice I didn't say cigar review this time because I'm actually going to be reviewing an accessory, and in particular I'm going to be reviewing a lighter. But before I get into the lighter itself, I want to talk a little bit about how I came to have it. If you remember back in, it was July or August, I think it was August actually, we all of us, Jerry, Brian, and I went to New Orleans for IPCPR. And we did a lot of press coverage. One of the booth tours that we did was with Prometheus and Keith Park. And Keith took us around the booth and showed us all of the new products that were coming out, as well as, in addition to cutters and lighters, he also has some cigars as well. And Keith took us around and showed us some of these accessories, and many of them were just beautiful pieces of craftsmanship or workmanship. And one of them really jumped out at me, which was the retro lighter. And we got to talking, and I mentioned that I'd like to get a hold of one, and he said he'd be happy to send me one, once everything was straightened out with the show and things. Well, it kind of slipped my mind. I'm sure it slipped his mind as well, and we ended up talking several months later, which was actually just recently. And we were discussing contest prizes. Keith wanted to provide a couple of prizes for me to give away on the website. And during that conversation, the retro lighter came up, and he was more than happy to send me one. So what I have is that Prometheus retro lighter that Keith was kind enough to send me. Now, one of the things that really grabbed my attention during the trade show was not only how this lighter operates, which is really cool, but it's really small. The form factor is tiny, as you can see. And actually in the video, Brian kind of makes a joke about how you could fit this lighter in your wallet, and Keith pulled out his wallet and slipped the lighter into his wallet and said, sure enough, yeah, you can. And that was really cool. And just like a lot of the Prometheus accessories, you can see the LCD screen in the camera. This is high polished, high quality material. It's something that you're kind of hesitant to toss in a pocket with car keys and things like that, because it will easily get scratched. I kind of just let it sit on the table. I don't like to carry it around with me without any kind of sheath, and I haven't seen one for this lighter. Now this is compressed butane. It is a torch lighter. Flip the little lid up, and what you've got is a single jet and a striker wheel, which is here. And basically what you're doing is depressing this lever in the front, and the striker wheel strikes a flint, sparks, and you get a jet of butane which passes by the spark, and you've got your lighter. Now, one of the things that I've noticed about this lighter, as far as a negative aspect kind of a thing goes, is the jet, which I'm probably not going to be able to show you, but way down inside that lighter is the jet. And the flame actually comes up and past the frame of the lighter. Now, when you're lighting a cigar over an extended period of time, you get this flame that passes through the case, and eventually the case begins to warm up. Even after that short period of time, the case is actually warm. Now, I haven't had any problems with like the flint popping or anything like that, but it does get a little on the warm side. It's not, it's a little uncomfortable after a long light if you're lighting a larger cigar. But the thin single flame does a tremendous job with lighting smaller cigars. It's got sort of a pinpoint accuracy. It works really well, and to my amazement, this lighter holds a fair bit of fluid. When I reviewed the Zycar lighters a while back, both the Axia and I don't remember what the other one was, the Trezo and the Axia, the dual and triple flame lighters. Even though the form factor was larger on those, the fuel tanks were really small, and the fact that they had multiple jets meant that you were really burning through the fluid. And I think on average I was refilling those after about 6 cigars. Now, I wasn't keeping track with these, or with this particular lighter, but I was able to light a lot more than 6 cigars. And one of the interesting things with this lighter is, a lot of times, like if I'm using this, my big Rocky Patel table torch, what winds up happening is as the fluid gets lower, the flame gets smaller, and eventually it'll start to sputter. And that's not the only lighter that does that. And, I've got a triple flame cane lighter that does the same thing. And it's usually an indication that you either need to turn up the pressure and get near a butane refill at some point, or expect your lighter to go out. And in this case, the strangest thing, the lighter just stops working. You don't get the flame beginning to sputter. It doesn't get weak and gradually get weaker and weaker. It just stops. So there's really no warning. Now there are two slots on the back of this lighter, which I really can't tell what they're for. It doesn't appear to be like fluid level. I think it may just be decorative. It doesn't appear to be a fluid level indicator, but to my surprise, it really does last for quite a while. And this uses the same flints as you would put in like a Zippo lighter. There's a screw on the bottom as well as a flame adjustment, and what you do is just you pop that out and retract the spring and swap out the flint. So that's pretty much the way the lighter functions. For as far as cool factor goes, I mean, this thing is just awesome. I'm really into that whole flint spark thing. That's not good. That's not good. It got stuck. There we go. I've never had that happen before. But as you can see, the flame is really precise, and I'm really scorching the cigar because I'm trying to let you see what's going on and light it at the same time by watching the monitor, and it's not working as well as I'd like it to. But already it's been a few seconds and I can feel the case getting hot. Now, what the lighter just lit was a La Flor Dominicana double arrow. I think it was a 660. It certainly doesn't look like a 60 by 6, but 660 was written on the cellophane, so I'd imagine it's 60 ring gauge by something. It's relatively fat. But the small thin jet had no problems lighting it. I am really surprised that the striker got stuck, but I mean, the lighter has worked really well, but apparently every now and again you'll get the striker wheel stuck on the flint just because of the way it operates. Price wise, I think these are about $75 a piece. I really like it. It's not something that I'd feel comfortable sticking in my pocket. I would definitely have this, sitting on a table or with an ashtray in the office or something. More of a presentation piece. It's not as practical. But as far as cool factor, I love this lighter. It's totally cool. Cool factor in the flint and all that. It's great. But at any rate, that's the Prometheus Retro Lighter. They also come, this is just your stock standard Prometheus Retro Flame. Now, in addition to this, there's the Angelenos, there's a God of Fire lighter, which is just incredible. And there's a couple of different variants that you can get. It's not just the standard black and chrome. But that's my take on the Prometheus Retro Lighter. Really like it. A bit pricey, but high quality tool, just like any of the other Prometheus products that I've looked at. And earlier on in the video I mentioned that there's going to be a product to give away. And timing's not great because Jerry's giving away a prize as of yesterday, and I've got another another prize to give away. And the prize is an Angelenos sampler. And basically what you're looking at here is a box much like we gave away around Christmas time, only a little bit different, different accessory. And what you've got, excuse me, is 4 Angelenos cigars and a Prometheus tabletop lighter, which is fairly big. Retails for $89.95, and it's got the Angelenos logo on it. Really cool. I actually have one of these to review as well. I think it's just stamped Prometheus, not branded for the cigar. But how to win this is simple. What I'd like you to do is tell me about your favorite cigar lighter. Do you still have it? Did you lose it? I mean, have you found a particular lighter that you just love and they're so inexpensive you just kind of, you know, give them away? And you know, I hear a lot of good things about the I forget what the brand is, but you know, they're like $3 lighters. I hear people rave about them. You know, they buy cases of these lighters at a time. They don't care if they lose them at cigar shops and things. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the most expensive lighter that, you know, that is your favorite. Just tell me about your favorite lighter, and that'll get you in for a chance to win the Angelenos sampler. And if you're a Stogie Review Fan Forum member, include your forum username and you'll get 2 entries instead of 1. And I totally just stole that off of Jerry. But until next time, happy smoking.